And we're live.
And we're live.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? No, I'm not going to start off with some rant this time. I said my piece and even went to the subject matter, and it's all good. I ain't worried about it.
Yeah. Well, let's start on something of yours. I watched you pull that roof dent out with that was pretty impressive actually. I
That's
was
something
give you a
else, wasn't
breath.
it?
Yeah,
I
that's
I
something.
I I have no idea, man. Like I said, that all happened at the same time. You know, that live that I saw, and I was
Yeah.
working on that, and basically it was my dad's birthday. The part that I left out of that is a really good friend of mine, a musician friend of mine, passed away the day before,
Yeah.
and I had that going on. I had everything, and I was running around here, and I was just wrenching to be wrenching. You know,
Yeah.
had the music up, just a little bit on this car, a little bit on this car, just little things they need. Got the Malibu in order for Amber and stuff like that. I wasn't really wanting to do anything, and then I got the bright idea. I was driving my tractor past that car, and I thought, you know what? Let me try this because I got that hook. I can't
Yeah.
remember what the body man's term is for that, but there's a
I
term.
don't I don't remember it either. I do know it's like well, the clamp that they use to straighten frames and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
what it's for. And I was just going to try it. Well, I was going to get a porta power too. And then I started looking at pricings, and I'm not working, so I'm like, I ain't gonna buy no porta power. And I was lifting this great big bucket of freaking asphalt, crushed asphalt in the back, and I was like, you know what? I'll bet this sumbitch will actually pull those dents out because it's got 4-wheel drive, and I can just take that. I can get it on there and just go like that, and it'll pull
Yeah.
up on it. And I'll be damned. The first time I tried it, it just went. Eh. I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy
Seen
cow!"
that.
So then, you see me, I'm all excited, and that's all. That's not fake. I'm like, I'm invested now. This is going.
Well, that's
This
all
is
it takes
going.
sometimes, man. Well, I've had days like that where you're in a mood. Oh, look who we have here.
Oh no!
Hey,
Do I need to
Chad,
go get my
Mr.
cowboy hat
Buff.
now?
I just, I had to match.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We don't
Wait,
exactly match. I'm
mine's
the
light
black
and
knight.
yours
You can
is
be the white
dark.
knight.
Are you the
Yeah,
bad guy?
I'm the bad guy.
And I'm the good guy.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
fair. That's
trust either
fine.
one of you. You know, I don't give a damn what hat you got on.
And that's smart.
he's
I watched
he's from
both the
Kansas, so
videos.
he can wear one of them legally. You damn
You know
Canadian.
what? Buff makes me nervous every time he deals with a fuel pump, though. I gotta say that. Like, he just loves. The first time I seen you doing one was on that Suburban or whatever it was, and you got the pump hanging out of the tank, the fuel spraying everywhere. You got the wires right there. I'm just
It
like,
did
oh,
not catch on fire. I want to point that out. It did not
no,
catch on fire.
it did not. I'm surprised it didn't,
It
but it
sprayed
didn't.
out everywhere, but it didn't catch on fire.
Yeah,
But in the
I
end, you got them both running.
Yeah.
I
But we
did
were
get.
just talking about Jay pulling the dent out of the roof of his car, and
Yeah.
that was impressive. But it did
Well,
make me look up that tractor because I'm a little jealous. I would love to
hey
have one
Andy,
of those. That's a great little tractor.
I actually. Well, Buff's seen the picture. I think I haven't sent it to too many people, but the windshield's in it. I put it in yesterday. I
Oh,
did
really?
film it. It'll come out, but it's like unbelievably too perfect. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. Now, I'm not putting any
No,
trim.
no,
I'm not putting any trim on it, so I basically use the Dalton Summit method. Just goop the hell out of
yeah.
the urethane, get it stuck on there straight, and then I'm filling it all in with urethane.
Yeah. 4 inches of
don't
urethane.
manifest
It'll be
that, Jay.
fine.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Well, we got lots in here. There's John Wilburn,
That's right.
Shop Cat, my damn kid. I got a video of me and him. Excuse me. I have a video of him watching me fix the Mustang.
What'd you fix? The door handle finally?
Oh my God, man! I put a brand new fuel pump on it, and that
Okay.
sucker did the same thing that the Javelin did. started blowing oil out that weep hole, like a quart every 2 days. And it was a brand new one. And then the intake, when I put it on, I was in a hurry. I didn't have any RTV, so I did the absolute worst thing you can do. I used the China wall gaskets, but I didn't have time to swap it out, so they didn't last long. Yeah, but it's all good now. What is Scott doing?
Nothing at the moment.
Is that LS?
He's got the LS in the truck. Does it run?
Not yet.
Well, see you later.
Oh, I'm getting. I've been doing wiring.
Wiring.
Yeah.
It's an LS. It's only 2 wires to hook up.
So you think?
With an LS, I think it's 3 wires.
What's up, fellers?
Maybe 3. Yeah.
But like 6 of them are ground. So
yeah, it depends if you use the original fuse box or not.
6 of them are grounds.
Yeah, we're out here.
I'm guessing he didn't use the original fuse box.
Nice garage.
Yeah, it's
Classy, right?
look at that. It's amazing.
That's classy.
It's hey, it's got.
If it keeps the popo off your back, but it all works.
Exactly that one. But no, I've been
Classy.
been working on stuff. I can if you guys want to see some stuff real quick, I can flip the camera around and show you some stuff.
Sure.
Give me a sec.
I've
You
actually
think this is a car channel or something?
I've actually never seen somebody take this year or model of truck and put so much into making it back to stock. You know what I mean?
Back to stock, but nicer.
Well, you know what I mean. It's like, it's good. Like, it doesn't look like a rusty Chevy.
No. So here we got everything's all wired up here. I got the wire loom going across. There's my fuse box. I've been mocking up the front here so I could figure out where I need to run wires and tubes and, you know, all the good stuff. And I had to put this cardboard cover on my transmission cooler because we kept bumping into it trying to work on the truck. And I was like, I don't want to dent it up. So, and that's a True Cool 40K. So that's a big one. Trying to save on the poor 4L60 and see if it'll live a little longer.
Yeah.
And I got a, let's see, I'll come around here for a second. Whew. And this is all O2 sensor wiring and crap. So I did an E-fan swap. So those are factory E-fans. And I've got a wiring harness for that that'll go into the ECU and control everything. And I've got my computer programmed. I reran the heater core lines because in the stock configuration they just lay on top of the heads and it looks dumb.
Yeah.
So what I did was I took the little key, I don't know if you can see that
Go get my
right here, and I split it off and went to the side and ran the tubes back around that way along the firewall, so they're not laying on top of the engine like they were before.
Yeah.
And I've got let's see. I've got all the battery wiring. I switched the battery from over there to here, passenger side, and I've run all the wiring up through the cowl. So there's the big fuse block for the alternator, and I've made all custom wiring for that. And then it comes around here, ties in. This is the different tray that goes in the HD trucks. I put it in this truck, and then all my wiring is running up through the cowl, and all I gotta do is put the windshield wiper motor and stuff back in up there, so it's all running down through there.
Nice.
And so just trying to clean things up and make it a little better. I've cleaned up a lot of parts, and it's got all stainless steel bolts on it now, which wasn't cheap, but they won't rust. And it's also got a cold case radiator in it. I know you can't see it behind the E-fans, but that's cold case. And I've got a Volant air cleaner that's going to go in right here, and the tube will run back over that way with the MAF sensor. New higher output alternator to run the E-fans. We've already bench bled the master cylinder over there, and that's ready to go. So we just got to open up the valves on the brakes and kind of let it gravity feed for a while and then bleed those.
You didn't fall.
And yeah, so getting there. I got I added, because one of the problems with LS, tripping over parts, that's normal. So One of the problems with LS, is that, or a lot of engines, is you have like the dirty side coming in where the PCV and everything is, and the all that. And so what I did was I added an oil catch can here, and
Wow.
I didn't like where the tubes ran for that either. So I have those. They're real long right now, so I can trim them back, but they run back around the firewall and back to the back of the heads and up to the PCB, which is here. And I ran PTFE line for all of that. PTFE line fuel fittings, and yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. So I deleted on the mechanical fan. I know you're a big mechanical fan guy, Jay, but
Yeah, I am.
these trucks, if I'm not going to be running it just to death, these trucks will probably do okay with it. I mean, this is the factory fan setup, so this is what runs on the HDs. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. All new stainless steel brake lines. See a little snippet of that there. All new wiring, all new
The destroyers.
calipers and pads, and I got those down there is Russell stainless steel flexible brake lines.
You're
And
lucky if you need to do more than a single flare.
and then a power stop brake set for the whole truck with slotted brakes and everything. So, or slotted rotors. So hopefully that'll make it gives a little bit more stopping power than it had before. So now I've got dual piston up front and dual piston in the back, whereas the stock setup was single piston in the front, dual piston in the rear, and really small rotors. So and calipers. So I've got much bigger batter setup, so I can stop it a little bit better. It's not going to have just a crap ton of more horsepower right now, but and also the headers. I've got stainless steel headers going there. Those are Speed Engineering, and
Those are nice headers.
so yeah, here's that heater. Here's that heater core setup. So I came out of the water pump there, and normally it just goes and just lays literally up here, and it looks really stupid and dumb. So I came off and I hit this T fitting, which is a Dorman product of all things. There's a lot of Dorman in here, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And I split that off to my overflow tank, and then that runs all back to the firewall back there.
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I put the Speed Engineering headers on my Camaro LS swap. Those are nice headers, man.
Yeah,
For the price.
I'll tell you what, I didn't have to beat on them very much, and they just kind of dropped in there, and it wasn't too hard to get them in. The only thing we had to do was on the driver's side, we had to move the whole steering, assembly out of the way to get them in. But other than that, they just plopped right in there and bolted up. So
yeah, they fit so good, and they're nice thick flanges. And
yes, they are.
They're a nice product for the money. Really.
So
nice
that's where I'm
money.
at. Other than working in this weird tent with pollen everywhere and bugs flying all around and everything, and at least it's not too cold. So yeah, just thought I'd check in and see how you guys were doing.
Yeah, we're getting along. He says, I was reading that again. Do you have one of them LS things ready to shake and bake? I just told you now. I'm coming for you, buddy.
One running. I've got one running, but it's I'm still haven't finished the air ride. So once I plumb all that, it'll be done, and that one will go down the road just fine. But I really think, the more I think about it, I need to put a turbo on that 4.3 and let it rip on the big van.
Hey, you might as well. Honestly, I never hear anybody really mac on a 4.3, but some's got it. They put 4.3s in boats that'll haul ass.
Well, I mean, the Cyclone,
the
the Cyclone's a 4.3 with a turbo.
Yeah.
So I think it's good enough. It's cheaper than doing an engine swap right now.
Yeah. I'm actually, I was talking to Wilburn here yesterday, I think it was, and I'm trying to get back into just for no-name nationals. I'm going to bring Bonnie down there, and I'm going to bracket race the Buick just for fun, because that car came out in the factory as a street car. It was supposed to be like Buick's GTO, so to speak, with the smaller engine. It don't have the big block in it. It's got the little motor, but they're still pretty torquey. They're like 285 horse and 300 foot-pounds or something like that. And it's got a brand new trans in it. I thought about just finding me some tires, put them on some old white rims, and I'll drive it down there and then swap the tires out when I get there. And just run in bracket races. I think it'd be kind of fun. Old muscle car like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fellas, I hate to drop in and then run, but I got to get back to work while the weather's warm.
Yeah, you better.
While I'm doing it, but I just want to stop in and say hi and check up on everybody.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in.
Taking on a little tour, man. I appreciate it.
2 months from today.
I know, man. The pressure's on. That's why I got to go. I got to get as much done as I can. I'm trying to start this thing tonight if I can.
I still got so much to do to that Javelin. We may end up just taking the Buick. Why not?
You should haul the tractor on the back with the accoutrement to pull out the dents with the Buick and bring it with you.
This is how
offer to pull out people's dents for them.
with
the tractor. You know?
Pirate Outlaw Body Shop.
$5 a dent. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
All right. See you later, man.
Good.
Have a good one, man. That is a great little tractor. I was looking it up after I seen you using it. I'm like, oh, I need one of those for my acreage.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I need.
1725, I think.
Yeah.
It'll get the job done. I wish it had a little bit bigger bucket, but I noticed that if I get her completely full, she wants to do this thing, you know.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
I need some wheel weights, maybe might help it. I'm still looking into that part. I need to get a box blade.
Put a hitch on the back with a bunch of weights.
Yeah, I got my 3-point back there. I thought about just running a bar across it with some weights, but I don't know. They make that thing's brand new, and if I can just get some brand new damn wheel weights to stick it on, so it still looks, brand new. I got this whole yard of shit and this really nice tractor.
That is a nice tractor, but getting back to the car, that was awesome. And I was thinking about it when I was watching it. Doesn't Dalton have a porter power? Like when you
that was the joke I was making.
When you bring the transmission back, yeah, I know that's the joke you're making. But when you bring the transmission back, maybe you should see if you can snag it and get your structure pushed back up.
Yeah, because he doesn't fix roofs anymore. He just cuts them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. Well, there was. I question the structural integrity of that car.
You should see it in person. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, the thing is I remember, being a fan of the Holy Goat when he got it, and I was like, man, that thing's awful. And then I did see it in person. I'm like, oh, that's so much worse in person.
Oh yeah,
and he fixed a lot of it, right?
And the Goat is in better shape than the LTD.
Oh, really?
In better shape than the Mercury. The Mercury is basically just paint. I mean, that's all that's holding the structure together is paint. It's bad. Anyway, I got to go move stuff from the rental into Cream Puff, so I got to get out of here.
But, you have a good night, Buff. Say hi to Chad.
See ya.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, I got the windshield in it, and I got the carb cleaned out. I've already cleaned out the fuel tank. If I would have got home early after night, I'd have had it running. But see, but Wolfpack, I don't need one. Now I don't need one.
He's got his tractor now.
Yeah, I went the cheap route.
You know what you should have done? You should have got the forklift adapter for the bucket. And before you put the window in, you can just lift that structure right back into place, buddy.
It popped up on, how you get on Amazon and your Facebook or your Google, it just shows up everything you looked at because they know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
It showed up. It was $190 for freaking forklift forks that clamp on that bucket. And I was like, damn it. I just, imagine bringing that thing to a revival and it's out in the weeds. Just get your forklifts underneath it and yank her back.
You think it would lift it? I've seen the cars you drive. Maybe the Javi, but the other cars, I don't know. They're pretty big. You might tip that tractor right over, buddy.
See you later, Joe. Thanks for stopping.
See you, Joe. Thanks for your Ford comment. Only when I have to.
haven't drove the car yet. So I won't know. I don't know if anything's been done to it. It don't look like anything has, but I do know that it has a rear end in it out of a GTO, and it is posy. So something may have been, I don't know what gears are in it. I don't know anything. I'll find out, here probably this weekend, because I ain't doing nothing. It's I would guess it's not going to be fast, it's just it won't be much more than what it would do stock,
I think it'll be a fun car no matter what, though. Like, you don't always need 1,000 horsepower to be fun.
No, that's another point I was trying to make, that, if you got 30 grand, 40 grand, you want to send, put in an engine and then the rest of the car, and you want to run 6-second, 7-second quarter miles like the guys, 8, 9, whatever, have at it, man.
Yep.
I love watching it, but I would rather have my 21 cars that run 12-second eighths or 11-second eighths. Well, 10, 9, whatever in the 8th mile. It's just, I don't care anymore. I just want to go have fun.
Well, I'm the same way. I will run what I brung, and I'll have fun in it no matter what. I will enjoy it. If that means I'm on, a perfect example of that is look how much fun the guys on the mini bikes had.
Yeah.
They're not fast.
Nah.
But they were having a blast on those things.
This is very possible at Petro in Rochelle. I've never been to Fargo, and I've never been to Minnesota. Well, I've been to Minnesota. I just ain't been to, not in the truck. Rochelle, Illinois, I've been to. Definitely. Been a while, but yep. I know exactly where that's at. That's the one thing about it. It's like what he's saying here. That's what's neat about that Buick.
Yeah.
Because if you go on YouTube or even Google and you look up a 67 Buick GS340, you'll see the two colors, but they're only in certain places that have them. You don't see them. There's a guy up here in Clinton, Illinois that has 2 of them that were sold at his dad's dealership. And this one was sold in Peoria. I know that much, and it lived its entire life from 67 till about 94, 93 or 94. Its entire life was in a quarter-mile stretch of a road in Peoria. Went from house to house. People bought it. And then this guy bought it there and brought it home to Springfield. And it was his daily driver. He drove this thing every day up until 15 years ago, I think, is what he said. About 15 years ago, he took it to Bloomington to have the transmission rebuilt. The guys that know the BOP transmissions backwards and forward had it rebuilt, drove it home that day, put it in the storage unit that I got it from. And like 2 weeks after that, this minivan come rolling through there and landed on top of it.
Wow.
That transmission literally has 65 miles on it.
That's crazy.
And basically that's the story of the car. And that's the one thing I get out of most people is, what the hell is a GS340? You can't find them. You'll see them and like, oh, was that like a dealer package? No, it actually come out. They made a GS340 in silver and white, and you had the option of a black vinyl top on either car. Some of them had them, some of them didn't. Some will come with 4-speed or this turbine 300 switch pitch transmission, whatever the hell it is. So, but they made a California edition, and that's a totally different, it's basically the same car, but they come in solid colors, black, whatever, right. And they only sold them in California. This car was made in Kansas City. I've already got all that figured out. And I'm trying to get the numbers. I might actually do that. What do they call it? A Marty report?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's. Yep. I'm thinking I might do that, just because it's if it was any other car, I probably wouldn't care. I mean, I've got the Javelin, I've got some other rare cars, but that one, I think, people are going to look at it, and the first thing they're going to see, if they don't know what they're looking at, they're not going to see the the way they did the portholes that year. And if they're any kind of car person, oh, GTO, that's not a GTO, you know, because it has that same look, the non-Chevy look, you know. So if Fox can fix it, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Well, I like avocados. I don't like any of the other stuff.
Yeah. Will, I plan to do this one of these days. And I'm going to drive my car straight north to Chicago, and I'm going to take it all the way to almost California. I'm going to turn around and go back because hopefully by then it's floats on. But now I got a cousin that lives out there on Venice Beach. He's a tattoo artist, big tattoo artist, actually. And I thought that'd be fun just to go. And then I was talking to my son here that's on here. He wanted to take a little vacation, just me and him. And I thought we'd go out to Vegas and grab a car and drive it home. Go out to Vegas, see some sights, and then drive one home. And I found a 76 Hornet wagon that runs and drives for like $2,200, rust free. Originally come out of Oregon. I was like, I said, let's go get this thing.
It'll be rust free, but it won't have any clear coat left on it.
Probably not.
That's okay.
It had a nice interior and everything, and it was a really nice looking car.
It's amazed. I was amazed when, you know, on the West Coast there, and just how bad the clear coat was peeling off of some of those newer vehicles with the heat there. Just bakes it.
That is not my child. I'm too old for that crap. This one, I think they made right around 3,800 total GS 340s. That's including the California package. Mine is it was white with the red. So I'm thinking it was like 1,800, 1,600 or 1,800 because they made a whole lot more of the California edition 340s. And then the GS 400, that's the white car that I have. That the gentleman that found me this car, he actually picked up that body and brought it to his house. So I still have a GS 400 body. I may sell it. I don't know yet. I was trying to see if Dallas wanted it because he's the Buick guy, you know. But
that has to be out of there pretty quick. Did you get it out of there, or is it still in the?
No, he brought it to his house. The guy that he actually put it on a trailer and they moved it to his house.
Oh, okay.
So I can go up and get it anytime. That way it's out of there.
Nice.
I wouldn't mind going back up in there. Like I said, I didn't put it on video because it's not my place to do it, but there was 3 409s sitting under tarps.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
And I was like, I looked at him. I said, get a hold of this guy. I'd like to have these. Yeah, sure you would. I've already asked. Don't bother.
Well,
damn it.
You know, time and circumstances change everything, man. You know,
yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit better. I got back to work and made a video and put one out. So working on some stuff again. So good enough that I can work on stuff. Thanks, Will.
See, that's one thing that I've noticed this car. Somebody took out the damn bench seat out of the front. That had that split bench where you can pull down either side. But there's 67 Chevelle buckets in there.
Okay.
I'm going to cover them, and I'm going to put a console in it so I can put my arm down. Jesus.
That's a lot of motor for
that's a big ass engine be putting down a Fox body. But the TJ, that's Thunderjet. That's out of the Thunderbird. I actually have one of them out in the garage. It needs rebuilt.
You know,
out of a damn junkyard.
They put out gobs of horsepower, but they also put gobs of torque out.
Yeah. I hope you got some hellacious frame connectors underneath that
Yeah,
thing.
no kidding. All the torque boxes in it, and the frame connectors, and the braces, and you need a lot.
Yeah.
How's
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm going to hold on to them. I actually prefer a bench seat over buckets. That freaking Ranchero, that's like a couch, man. Laying back. Needs an armrest in it. I got to take the C6 that's in the garage. It's going to my transmission guy, Tony, and he's going to rebuild it because the FMX or the FMX and the Ranchero, it decided it didn't like its front seal anymore.
That seems to be a thing with those things. I had one that did that to me too.
See, this guy understands. Yes. I mean, wait, no, that's bad.
No,
don't do
we
that.
don't do that. We don't do that. We don't. No.
But I don't know. I'm more wanting to get the Buick. I'm trying to get the exhaust done on the ambulance because Amber's going to start driving it sooner or later.
Yeah, you got the back window on
I
it.
did notice that I'm probably going to have to pull the motor back out of him though.
Oh.
Yeah, my oil pan seal didn't. I guess maybe when you put a brand new engine in a car and you don't test it and you take it straight to an 8-mile drag strip and just run the shit out of it, it probably ain't a good idea because parts of the gaskets towards the front did the normal Pontiac. So I'm gonna have to I'll probably have to pull her up and get a better gasket, and it's just gonna sit there and leak oil.
Well, the problem with Pontiac pans is there's nothing really to trap that front seal in it, right? It's a smooth surface. There's no ridges or lips or anything like that. It's so easy to mess it up and let it walk out.
And that timing cover where it loops down, where it sits down on that things strip out like you would not believe. They get corroded. I should have probably put a new timing cover on that car, but it seemed fine, but it's probably not.
Yeah, but they're kind of a unique cover too, though. That's the problem with them. You can't just go down to your local O'Reilly's and buy one for the most part.
Well, the baddest decision I made is I have a one-piece rubber one in the garage, and I didn't put it on there.
Oh,
I thought because I had it off, I could just do my normal finger the goop on and stick it up. Because remember, I took that shit oil pan off and I put the right one on it, and I did it in front of the car, and I didn't have it upside down and all that. So I might just for now, what PJ is saying here, I might just lift the motor up, drain the oil out, lift the motor up, drop the pan bolts, and just go around the edge.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, as long as you got enough room to do that, then why not? It saves you from pulling the engine out.
That, and since it's settled, that oil pan is really close to that. It's really close to that freaking cross member.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I may have to put a shim on one side of it.
Oh really? That close?
Since it's settled, it's close. I don't like that, man. She'll be driving it and then burst a hole in the oil pan. And not only will I be dead meat because I got a stranded woman in her car that I built, then I also have an engine that I have to build again.
Yeah. Well, it's a funny story about that. I remember when I was very young, my mom she was going to this. She was just seeing my stepdad. She was just start seeing him, and she was out in the country, and it was one of the first times we had gone to my grandparents, which were his parents. So she got lost, and she was driving I think it was a 71 Cougar with 351 Cleveland in it. And she's going down this dirt road, and all of a sudden she sees bridge out. And she dukes a hazard that sucker, man. She just punched that thing to the floor and jumped over. she didn't have time to stop, and she didn't see it soon enough. So she just mad at the car, and my sister and I are cheering, "Woo, just like Daisy Duke, Mom!" But shortly thereafter, the oil light came on. And when you look at it afterwards, like I think we found some town, someplace that finally called my dad to come get us, but she had punched the oil pan right into the bottom of the engine. Man.
God.
Yeah, it's
What's up, man?
By the way, I have no idea where I get my my leaded right foot from.
Oh no.
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 No idea.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about different cars that people have had. They were talking about it on Pontiac Power Hour. My dad's was a 49 Ford with a flathead Ford.
Nice.
3-speed on the column with straight pipe. One straight pipe made out of oil rig piping. And he ran the hell out of that car. And I was talking with my uncle. Oh, it's been about a month ago. I got 2 uncles that are still alive, his 2 youngest brothers.
Yep.
And we were talking about the cars at Walmart. I ran into him. He's 80 something. And he's like, I said, you don't happen to know what happened to my dad's old cars. He goes, well, I know where his Ford is.
Oh.
I said,
Really?
excuse me? He goes, yeah, he had a 49 Ford that he run around town. And I said, yeah, I know what car you're talking about. Where'd you say? Well, it's out there in the town that they grew up in, out in this farmer's freaking pasture out in the very back. It's just sitting back there rusting away. He's pretty sure it's still there.
Really?
I said, really?
Yeah.
So now that it's nice, I'm probably going to head up there. I know exactly where he's talking. I'm going to go up there and talk to him. Say, hey, is there an old 49 Ford back there? 4-door, by the way.
Yeah.
It was a 4-door. So
Yeah.
It was like a 1950s sleeper car is what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he was from that era. You know, the hair, the slick back DA and all that crap.
The rolled up sleeves with the cigarette pack in the
Smoked Lucky Strikes, you know, the whole 9 yards. So I'm gonna try to make my way up there. And my family gave me all of my family stuff because they just don't care about genealogy, and I do. I'm like, 23andMe and Ancestry.com. I do all that stuff. And well, mainly because I'm adopted. So I went backwards from finding my birth mother, who I'm, we talk every day, but I'm going backwards to see where I'm all from, But they gave me all this stuff, and my mom had that, back in the 50s, they had the hope chests, and she had this fold out thing about her wedding, and they were going to get married, and when my sister was born and all this stuff. And one of the things was a receipt for a 1962 Chevy Bel Air.
Oh, really?
2-door, I think.
Yeah.
2-door. And it has the VIN on it. It has everything.
Oh, wow.
So I may try to
track that down.
See what happened to this car.
Yeah.
I do know what happened to my dad's Cutlass I grew up on. A gentleman that was missing a leg from Vietnam. He bought it and put all of his gadgets and stuff in, and he ended up wrecking and rolling that thing. So it was gone. But I really wanted to find that car. I got pictures of it somewhere. But well, here's the thing, y'all. I get part Irish, and I get this. So my dad, the last name is completely Irish. Matter of fact, he is 4th generation. That's my adopted family. So after I found my mother, my birth mother, he said, you should, do that DNA test thing, Jay. So I did it, and he did it. Turns out I'm more Irish than he is.
There you go.
It come to like 81% from the northern British Isles, being Ireland, Scotland, all that stuff. And it's mostly County Cork and Ireland. That is my main thing. And my dad looked at it, he goes, are you shitting me? I said, yeah, I'm more Irish than you are.
That's awesome.
But it's that and Scandinavian. That's it. That's it. That is my entire heritage, Irish and Scandinavian. It's only like 12%. And then they got there's a couple percentage that's just like non-accounted for.
Yeah.
But
I've
yeah,
never
I
had
mean,
one of those done. It'd be kind of curious to find out. Like,
it's
it's supposed to be mostly Scottish and Irish, is what a little bit of English.
it's pretty neat. Plus, it tells me shit that I don't need to know. I will go on there and it'll have new things about what my DNA tells me could possibly, and it's all right. Every damn thing about it is right.
Oh, really?
High blood pressure, the bald spot, it's all there.
Oh,
Every
really?
bit of it. What was the other thing? Something came up on there. There was something, and my jaw dropped. I mean, it hit me. I mean, it even had my eye color, and the fact that my eyes will change color with mood.
Really?
Yeah, my eyes will get darker, like they'll turn browner and browner. I got hazel eyes normally, green,
Yeah.
and they'll get darker and darker and darker the more, and that's because the blood is rushing to my head, and it makes your eyes darker. And it happens to everybody, really, but for some reason for me, it's like right on. It
They
was.
just go black, eh?
It's amazing. It really is amazing. Yeah. I tell everybody to do it. Amber did it too. She's Greek. It guessed her down to her grandmother's name coming across the freaking ocean.
Really? Wow.
Oh, she had some cousins that did it too, and it comes back to names that you couldn't pronounce if you tried. It's all Greek.
Yeah.
And then also Hatfield and McCoy, both sides. So you got to keep her here.
Well, she's internally conflicted then.
Oh, and it's aimed all at me, every bit of it.
Sometimes I think ignorance is bliss, though. So I don't know if I want to know what's supposed to be wrong with me.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I pretty
nothing's
much
wrong
caused
with me.
all my woes. I don't think being an asshole has anything to do with DNA. I'm just an asshole.
No, that might not be DNA, but it might be. Who knows?
I like sarcastic anger.
Yeah.
Like that's me.
I suspect if mine came back, that's all it would say. You're an asshole.
Yeah. If you have this, this, and this, don't worry. You're just an asshole. It's in your DNA.
An asshole, yeah.
That's the Scottish part.
Yeah.
You're just an asshole.
That's the Scottish. Yeah.
I used to love, I'd go on, I'd be sitting in bed or something, couldn't sleep, and I'd pull up videos of angry Scottish people. They're the funniest people when they get mad. Shit that comes out of their mouth is I don't, you can't understand half of it, but they are dead serious while they're saying it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I used to, well, there was one great skit on This Hour Has 22 Minutes. It was kind of a Canadian show, and they used to have the old Scottish guy on there always getting mad. And I always laughed my butt off because he did it so well.
That, and there's, it was either TikTok or one of them. There was this uncle and Junior, and he'd be snow blowing, and his uncle, he'd be trying to scoop it with the shovel, and Junior, on purpose, while they're filming it, wouldn't tell him he's doing it, and he'd run the snow blower and blow snow all over him, all over where he just, God damn, Junior! He started going off on him, and I laughed. He's like, show me your hands, and he slap him, and he, go like this. And Junior comes up, cracks him in the head, knocks him on his ass. Have you seen that one? He gets up, pulls a gun out. He's like,
oh no!
Oh, bitch!
Wow.
Yeah, you had to look that up. It's goddamn Junior.
No, Fox. I'm talking. This Hour Has 22 Minutes. That's what the show is called. I am familiar with Kids in the Hall. That was a good show too.
Oh yeah, Kids in the Hall was great. Also liked, the 90s and Saturday Night Live were.
Back when it was good, yeah.
And what was the other one with Jim Carrey and Artie Lang and all them? It was
In Living Color.
In Living Color.
Yeah.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Oh, all righty then.
Let me show you something.
Yeah. I think my favorite skit is when he showed up on the Enterprise or something.
Yeah. I like the one who the hell was it? Artie Lang was the head of security because this guy got drunk and ran for president and won. So he wakes up in this bed. He's in the White House, and Artie Lang's sitting there. He's like, "Where the hell am I?" He goes, "Mr. President."
Yeah.
He's like, "What? What are you talking about?" Yeah, you won the presidency.
Yeah.
Man, last time I knew, I was out drinking with some buddies. Yes, you got drunk and decided to move yourself into front, and you won.
Yeah. Well, Tony's right. Back when because I mean, remember they had the one character, a handyman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he'd never get away with that.
Homie the clown was.
Yeah, homie the clown. Beat the kids with his sock, didn't he? Isn't that what it is? He had the sock with bar of soap or something in it that he beat kids with.
Yeah. God. And then you had the. I didn't watch it a lot because I didn't have the channels to watch it at all. But what was that show with? Damn it, the comedian that always gets in trouble with the LGBTQ. It's on Netflix. He's got Netflix specials. We'll have to watch.
I think every community gets in trouble with the LGBTQ.
Oh, what the hell was it?
Was Russell Peter? No, it wouldn't be Russell.
No,
Peter.
why can't I? He lives in Ohio, black feller.
Chappelle?
Yeah, the Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
Rick James, bitch.
Didn't he have a crank yankers or something like the crank calls on that on the Chappelle Show? Was that?
I think that's where it started.
I think that's where it started, right? And some of those were so you'd never be able to.
Friggin' Jerky Boys.
Oh yeah.
They couldn't put out nothing right now. They would be they'd be in prison.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The crap that Adam Sandler put out on his albums, that was funny.
Yeah.
Boxcar or what the hell was it? Willie. Toll Booth Willie.
Toll Booth Willie, right? Yeah.
And then he had the moron or whatever it was. I pissed in that guy's gas tank. I used to love all that stuff. My biggest one that I always listen to though is old school Richard Pryor.
Oh, Richard Pryor.
I would laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
Nothing was off the table.
Well, him and Eddie Murphy too. Eddie Murphy was pretty bad back then too, right?
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't say bad. He was funny, but he was crude. No doubt about it. He was very crude, but he was funny.
Oh man.
But even you go back to Mel Brooks, like there's no way you even let Mel Brooks do anything anymore either. Although I think he is doing something right now.
He's like 99 years old.
No, it's crazy.
He's funny as hell.
Still funny. But because you had even Get Smart, like Mel Brooks was involved in Get Smart, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you couldn't get really away with any of that. George Carlin, that was another one.
Oh, he was amazing. This is one I seen him in concert, I guess you'd call it, just before he passed away. And it was an amazing show. Absolutely amazing. I never laughed so dang hard.
And I had who was the other one I used to listen to all the time? I would literally listen to this while I was driving my car. I went to Nashville. I had to do a bunch of studio stuff in Nashville, and I listened to that all the way to Nashville. Nothing but Richard Pryor. Of course, Eddie Murphy. I had the first album was hysterical. He put out. Well, anyway, the Monty Python stuff, they couldn't do that today.
Oh, yeah.
Brian.
I'm not dead yet. Yes, you are. No, really, I feel fine. No, you're quite dead.
No, you're quite dead.
Yeah. But can you like take care of him? No,
Yeah.
I'm not
Bring
supposed to
out
do
your
that.
dad.
Come on, just do me a favor.
It's sensitive to the freaking coronavirus. Bring out
Oh yeah, bring out your dad. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy Grail. There was a, oh God, not to get political, but there was a Holy Grail like montage, but it was Trump and the prosecutors and the DOJ of the United States, Department of Justice, and Biden, and all
Oh
of them
yeah.
are down. And it's the scene where the French guys are up in the castle. I fought in your general
I fought in your general direction.
There ain't nobody that couldn't laugh to that. That was just funny as hell.
Oh, Cheech and Chong were good too. Yeah. Up in
Oh
Smoke.
yeah.
Of course,
First
Big
gear,
Brother.
second gear.
Yeah.
Was your license? It's back there on the bumper, man.
Benny Hill. That's one I would always stay up and watch and
Yeah,
watch and chase the
too.
nurses around at the beginning of it. Yeah. Just run around chasing the women around the whole time. You know,
It's just this here, the rabbit scene.
yeah.
No, I'm telling you, it's a it's a wretched beast with huge pointy teeth. And he goes
Just
off
a
and
cute
he
little
grabs that
fluffy
guy, and the
bunny.
priest is like, Jesus Christ!
Christ, yeah. No, it's vicious. I swear, it's a vicious rabbit. This is just a
Damn it,
cute
man.
little bunny.
I cut your arm off, just but a scratch.
It's
Sitting there
really
shooting.
a flesh wound. I should come back here. I shall bite your knees off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite one from Cheech and Chong is like, yeah, man, I had to sit around for 3 days. My dog ate my stash. I had to sit around for 3 days so I can get it back. You mean I'm smoking dog shit, man? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tastes like Labrador.
It's like yeah.
He's on that Harley with no rear wheel, and the exhaust is blowing right out the window into the rose garden. Some of this stuff. God.
Oh, there's
And you couldn't do that shit
Classic.
today. There is impossible.
No.
You couldn't even make
Cannonball Run.
like The Hangover. You couldn't make the
No,
Hangover
no.
movies right now.
I bet you couldn't do that today. Even something like Cannonball Run, you couldn't even do.
Yeah. It'd be chauvinistic when old what's her face is, can't see that no either. Even though women
the best
won.
part about that, yeah, the best part about that is when she was doing it and the woman cop shows up.
Oh yeah, she's better looking than her. That's it.
Yeah.
Please. What's going on there, sweet cheeks?
Yeah. Good shows, classics. I started watching 80s movies with my kids actually because I think they're just better.
They are.
So we watched The Goonies the other night.
Oh wow!
They enjoyed that. It still holds up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched Adventure in Babysitting, and that still holds up really good.
Don't call mom. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. That was a good one.
Oh yeah.
What was See, I even like the really awful Iron Eagle movies.
Oh yeah, they were horrible.
They were great.
They were so good. What was what's the one where they had to steal the stealth fighter?
God.
You know the one I'm talking about?
What one you're talking about?
Was it Firefox or something like that?
Maybe that is it. I don't remember.
Yeah. But yeah, all those movies back then were great. Yeah, it was Firefox.
Somebody like Netflix just started playing all the Smoking the Bandit movies, right? And I already
had them up. Yeah,
I already own them.
had them up here, but I think they took them off.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me because there's Jackie Gleason is like everybody hates number 3, and it is awful. It's terrible movie, but Jackie Gleason is still hilarious in that. Yeah. Like they're in that hotel. I'll just give you an example. They're in this hotel, and he walks in, and there's an orgy. I guess there's some kind of thing going on. There's an orgy going on in this room. And Junior goes, "Daddy, what's going on in there?" "Shut the door, Junior. You might get a herpes on you." Shuts the door. I was like,
Junior, when we get home,
yeah.
I'm going to punch your mama in the mouth because there is no way you come
And-
from these loins.
Like even in part 2, it's all Jackie Gleason is the funny part. Other than that, that movie is terrible. He comes up there and
yeah.
Jackie Gleason, they're
Yeah.
Daddy, look at that big huge alligator. That reminds me, I need to call your mama. Shit like that is like you couldn't do that nowadays because they think, oh my God, did he just say that about a woman? You're like, give me your
Yeah.
handkerchief. What's wrong? Oh, a little fly shit. And takes his
Yeah.
handkerchief. His cousin's a
Wow.
freaking Canadian Mountie. That's a
Yeah.
that's
Wasn't
you know a
he
little light
Gaylord?
blow.
Well, he was a gay Canadian Mountie, wasn't he? He was a Gaylord.
Yeah, Gaylord.
Yeah. No, I remember. They were just classic movies. One of the things that got you into cars back then. There were so many good car movies. You know, you had Stroker Ace, and then you had
Hooper.
even stuff like Gun Ho.
Oh yeah,
and
Gung Ho.
Hooper, yeah.
I even forgot about that one. But yeah, like a lot of people don't remember Hooper. Hooper was a great movie,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
That's the one with
Hooper
the
was
what's
good.
his name from
Great one.
Airwolf. And they take
Yeah.
that Trans Am, the jet car that ends up looking like a really bad model at the end, you know. But that's actually a really good movie.
No, it was. It was great. Six Pack was a good one too. Yeah.
I own that one
Yeah.
also.
There's so many good car movies back then. And then if you get into stuff like the French Connection and whatnot,
Yeah.
you had some good car chases and stuff. Yeah, the Michael Keaton movies in the 80s were great. And even his newer stuff. Michael Keaton's awesome, man.
They need to do another Batman with him in it. Like the old
Well, he
man.
is Batman.
Huh?
Yeah, well, he is doing that. He is doing that.
Is he?
The new Batman movie has him as Batman. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Speaking of Dazed and Confused, Tony.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah, no, he's playing Batman again. I'm looking forward to that. He was great.
I'm actually looking forward to May 6th, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm a huge fan of the comic and a huge fan of the movies. I think they're awesome, and I think the third one's just going to kill me because it's the last one. So
yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they don't wreck it like they have some of the other movies, but it might be okay.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good.
I want to see that Dungeons and Dragons. I want to see that one.
I heard it was actually surprisingly decent.
Yeah.
I was concerned. I remember watching the first Dungeons and Dragons movie. That wasn't great. But this one might be okay from some of the reviews I was watching.
You know, one part of the movie, like, of course, the whole movie of Smoking the Bandit is great. It just is. It's just a good movie. Wasn't supposed to be that good, but it ended up fantastic. But the main part that I love, besides the Trans Am sliding around, is when they want to do the Hot Smoky Red 22, and he calls ahead to Hot Pants Hilliard, and all these old 70s cars, the big, huge square bodies and Fords with the great big bug catcher and the that stuff. You're looking at all these cars going, oh my God, that is my hometown in 1980, 1970s, late 70s, and the 80s. And things like that, where you see those little cars like that.
As much as, the Fast and Furious movies are quite ridiculous at times, some of the things they do.
Yeah.
The one thing I will give them is they've really kept the car culture alive.
Yeah.
In many respects. So I will not knock those movies too much, simply for that reason. And it might be that the car culture has changed a little bit because of all the imports and stuff, but they still brought a lot of the old domestics back and rekindled the love for those cars.
Yeah.
And the T-bucket hot rods with the yeah.
Yeah. All you do is see him put it in gear and he takes off. Yep. I knew that.
Have a good night, Colleen.
See you, Colleen.
Well, yeah, that's I grew up in a small town where that's all they did. They called them mainies.
Yeah.
They just cruise up and down Main Street all freaking night.
I lived in a town where I grew up, and then the town that I live now, it's only like 6 miles apart. So we'd have a cruise route in the hometown that we'd always go on, and then half the night we'd spend there for a while, then we'd go over to the next town and go through that cruise route because I knew everybody there. And usually what would happen is I'd be around my hometown and nobody'd race me because everybody had Pontiac 6000s and K cars. And you went to the big town, and then that's where the other Fox bodies and the Camaros and all that stuff were. And we'd go out to a road that we called Pepsi-Cola Road. It's called something else now, but it was the straightest, flattest place, and we'd go out there and just race and race and race. I mean, right in town, and we'd race, and we'd come back to cruise route. There was no, I beat you, or none of this. It was like, all right, next Saturday, you come back out here. I'm going to do some tuning, and I'll see you in a little, There was no grudge,
We were lucky because we had a place called Race City Speedway, and for $20 Friday nights you could go out and do all the racing you wanted type thing. And it was a lot of people would show up. You pay your $20, and the best part is you had a racetrack. You had a full quarter-mile racetrack, and you still had the ambulance there if anything happened, and you had full services and all that. $20, you were there from I think like 6 at night till 1 in the morning.
Wow.
And
yeah, that would have been all right.
You just pick who you want to race and off you go. And it was great. And then the city, we got someone in there that kind of had a beef with them as a mayor, and it pulled some dirty tricks and shut the track down. And we haven't had a track in 20 years now, 15, 20 years. It really sucks.
That happened a lot here too. The cruise route in Effingham got shut down because somebody was bitching about we were, leaning against trees, and we were doing this, and we had a pool hall that somebody had put up, and everybody would go hang out there and then go the cruise route. And, we all stayed, anybody who was, say, 18, 19 years old down to 12, 13, 14, that, we all just hung together. It wasn't anything bad. We just loved to hang out, and, we'd get in mischief and stuff, but nothing serious.
Yeah.
Well, everything was rooted to the cruise route and this pool hall. All of a sudden, somebody says, "Oh, there's nothing but drugs in that pool hall." Some Christian nut job goes to the board, and they get it shut down. They make the guy that raises taxes out the wazoo. He has to shut it down. Well, then we go to the cruise route. They cut the cruise route in half and told us we couldn't do this, couldn't do this. Well, guess what started to happen?
Well, then you got trouble happening throughout town.
You had break-ins.
Yep.
You had underage drinking accidents. You had all kinds of stuff because kids were trying to find something else to do.
Yeah, because people are stupid is what it boils down to. They get a certain thing in their head that, that's not well, you know what? Yeah, they might be getting in a little bit of trouble here and there, but it's very minor, and you just shut down their hangout. What do you expect them to do?
Yeah, I had a job, so I wasn't so worried about doing all that stuff, but it was like they knew what they did was wrong, and they had a board meeting. Well, maybe we shouldn't have shut that down. Well, the guy's like, well, I'm not freaking opening it back up. You're just going to have to deal with it. Your fault, your problem. But, yeah.
Yeah, I miss the 80s. I miss being a kid in the 80s. It was a good time, but deal with what we got now, I guess. Hopefully
Yeah.
it comes back.
Well, the cruise routes here, now it's just they have a a drive-in, for it's all people that honestly nobody like my son Skyler, that Mustang he's driving, he's probably one of the only people his age around here. We're talking 30 to 21 or 30 to 18 that has a car like his that I put
Yeah.
together for him. They just don't have it. Everybody's got brand new trucks. They don't. It's not the same.
No, it's
Where
not.
they'll have certain cruise nights because honestly, everybody around here, they don't get their hot rods out unless it's like super nice, no wind, no rain, no nothing. They won't let them come out of the garage. And here I am every day driving a friggin' 76 Ranchero and a Javelin and a Malibu.
Yeah.
And that's why they all get upset with me because I'm driving these cars. Skyler, why are you driving that? You need to get that, that GT350 because we drive them. They were made to
That's
drive.
for driving. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
I
with
get you don't
man.
want to take it out on the salty ice, and I get that. If you got a nice car, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but God, you got to get them. Don't just peek their head out the door for 5 seconds and scrub on it a minute and then put it away. Worst part is you can't get married with them. So, well, I guess you can.
Yeah. Well, some people do, but the thing about it is, besides the financial cost, there's a reason I don't own, a classic muscle car that's worth a crap ton of money, and that's in really nice shape and whatnot. Would I like one? Yeah, but would I honestly want an authentic, like 1968 Dodge Charger RT? No, I don't. I do and I don't, because it at that point it's a garage piece. It's not a driver.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to wreck a car like that.
Somebody got into discussion with me about that new Demon, that really fast Demon banned by the NHRA,
Yeah.
and I pissed them off, which is not hard for me to do. But I said, it doesn't surprise me they'd ban that. They ban my cars just because they ain't perfect paint. So it doesn't surprise me if it does their rules, they ain't gonna let you race it.
Well, and then there's an argument right there for the AHRA.
Mm-hmm.
You can go have fun.
Run it.
You don't need $1 million to have fun, man. You can just bring something that's relatively safe and have a good time.
Yeah, you gotta have to say. I mean, don't bring a piece like a total piece of shit. But
well, I said relatively safe.
Yeah, you were.
But yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. That's the thing is I can go. I want to test run the Buick and all this stuff, but my local tracks, it's NHRA, so I don't think they would even let it go in there.
Yeah.
And
Will, to answer your question, we're talking the first movie that was a Charger.
Which one? Oh, Dom's car? Yeah, it was a Charger.
Yeah.
Of course, the wheelie's CGI.
Yeah.
That is a badass car, though. The engine thing, that was all fake, but still, I'm not a Mopar guy, but that was a badass looking car. I love all the cars that look like that. I actually like that first one. The first
movie was good, yeah.
Really good. But
yeah.
Well, I think it's about time for me to go to bed. I got to be up at like 5 o'clock.
I'm right there with you, so it sounds good to me.
Get out of here till we stage an hour. No. We got to go. I did put that one video out. I might try to edit one for the weekend. Maybe put that one on the Mustang out. It's actually kind of hilarious. If I get to it, I'd really like to get that Buick driving this weekend. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Plus get the exhaust on the ambulance.
I did get the video on the Monte Carlo out, so.
Yep. I've been trying to catch up with everybody's stuff because I've been so busy trying to keep my truck freaking going.
Yeah. Yeah. How's that coming? Is that almost back
Yeah.
on the road?
She's good. I've been driving her all week.
Oh, good. Good.
That'd be nice to actually
Cool.
have a paycheck coming in again.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It'd be a very good thing. Yeah.
Especially I got power tour in 2 months.
Yeah.
And
Man, no nationals after
parts
that.
short. So anyway, appreciate you coming on. Thanks for everybody showing up.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Appreciate
go
you
ahead
having me.
and pass the hell out.
It sounds good, man.
All
Have a
right.
good night, everyone.
See yous.